Hello. Today is the 12th of November 2020, the date PlayStation 5 launches in New Zealand, as well as rest of the world, in fact. I'm going to document me picking up the console early in the morning, and this was filmed at around 7:30, and I pre-ordered mine to pick up from EB Games in Sylvia Park, and they're open from 8 a.m. today. So the plan is for me to get in there early, grab a coffee, and stand in line to get my console as early as possible. As I'm waiting for my coffee, I already see two people with PlayStation 5, and this is before 8 a.m. So this is a good sign. That means they may have opened earlier than I thought. So I'm hurrying my way there. I'm approaching a little bit of a queue here, but it's a lot smaller than I thought. So this is relatively good. And the queue moved very quickly, and I'm just waiting to pick up my console and my game, which is exciting. And here we are with the console. I think it was all done in about 20 minutes of wait, so that's not bad at all. And it's my Spider-Man game. And I've brought the box home. I'm just gonna unbox it for you guys. Even though you probably have seen a lot of these videos. But at least this will show you what the actual retail boxes may have. So as we open the box, is sort of the standard things you would expect, including the very exciting new controller. Standard power cable. User guide. I think underneath that there is that weird stand thing, which I believe you need to lay the console down horizontally. And you can kind of see the HDMI cable behind it too. Struggling to get the next layer, but let's speak to it. Here's the console. With a little bit of struggle, I got the console out. It is a big boy. You can't quite see that in this video. So I'll try to get a different angle so you can get a sense of size once it's unboxed. Now that it's outside of its box, here it's where it's going to stay so that I can play on my 4K monitor. So this is what the PlayStation looks like on startup. From now on, I'm going to show you how the setup process goes. So if you don't want to watch that, hopefully I've managed to do a timestamp somewhere so you can skip to the next section if you like. So the setup process from here on out is sped up about 4 times the speed, because otherwise it'll be relatively long and boring for you guys. What was really impressive was this particular thing where they asked you to insert a game disc so it could be installing while you're setting up your PlayStation. So I've put in Spider-Man game in there. So hopefully it will be partway through installation or all the way through by the time we're done. As I'm sure you expected, there is a system update you need to do to get your console ready on day 1. When the setup is done, you can see welcome to PlayStation 5 screen and the new UI, which is relatively cool, and you can kind of see the Spider-Man 5 has been installing as they said it would be. I don't know about you, but before I got my PlayStation 5, I wasn't quite sure how my monitor was going to work with new PlayStation 5. This is a 4K monitor. Well, technically 5K, 2K. It is the LG 34WK95U, I believe. Just wanted to check that it could do 4K, and here you can see that it's outputting at resolution 2160p, which is your 4K. But as you can see, there's always the black bar on the side because it doesn't support widescreen. I'm not sure whether the video is showing this very well, but the resolution is crisp and it's quite lovely. I'm coming from a PlayStation standard original, so I didn't have 4K or anything. I think I had 1080p, so this is a massive, massive improvement since then. And I'm showing you what picture profile I have on my monitor to get the best, and I do quite like the custom profile there. Checking whether there's anything I need to tweak. At this point I don't feel the need to tweak, but in short, in my non-expert eyes, the monitor works pretty well with this console. Once the game has fully installed, unfortunately there is an update file you need to download and install. It says you can start without updating, so that's kind of nice, I guess, if you wanted to do that. once Spider-Man has updated all of its files it requires, here's what it looks like on launch. And you can even ask for a recap of the previous story, which I will leave it to play here. Again, you can skip that if you don't want to see it.
Up until about a year ago, my life was pretty normal. I lived in the greatest place ever. Brooklyn. Represent. Had 2 cool parents and loved all things science and superheroes. Everything changed though when my dad was killed in the City Hall bombing. I couldn't believe he was gone. But Peter Parker and his Aunt May, they were there for me. And so was Spider-Man, who I later found out was Pete. Crazy, right? Then when the Devil's Breath crisis started, things got intense. It seemed like all of Spidey's villains were on the loose. I managed to do my part to help him out. And after all that, believe it or not, a spider bit me. And I started to change. I didn't want to worry my mom, so I went to Pete. And now, we're officially Spider Bros. He's been training me up, and I'm actually getting pretty good with this whole web swinging thing. I'm still learning to juggle this responsibility with everything else in my life. School, friends, a new home. I moved to Harlem a few weeks back. But I'll tell you, I can't wait to see what the future holds.
One other thing I actually wanted to check was how quickly Spider-Man game will reload, as it is touted as one of the big features of PlayStation 5. So here we go, restarting. I think that's about 10 seconds if I'm counting correctly, which is quite impressive. Another thing I wanted to check was the PlayStation Plus collection, where even if you didn't buy any launch titles for PlayStation 5 specifically, you will have a whole bunch of previous games from PlayStation 4 that you could play on here, which is looking pretty impressive. Another thing I was curious to check was how PlayStation 4 game upgrade to PlayStation 5 games would work. And Assassin's Creed, if you put in the CD, it comes up with an icon to get a free game upgrade, which is not the same as copying the game directly, because if you copy the game, I believe you might be installing the PlayStation 4 version into your PlayStation, so it's quite good to know that this is relatively easy to do. While Assassin's Creed is downloading and installing, I thought we should play this free game, which demonstrates how cool this new controller is. I'll try to show you what I'm doing on the controller as much as I possibly can on this video. bit of the game clip, and apologies in advance. I really sucked at this. I didn't quite understand what they're asking me to do, and I failed a number of times here. I swear I'm a slightly better gamer than this, but only slightly. So now I'm checking that Assassin's Creed works as expected, and it does. It loads fine. And it's playable. I didn't record any of the gameplay for Assassin's Creed because I didn't actually play the game after I installed it. I went back to Spider-Man. So I will say goodbye here. Thanks for watching my video. This was my first video, so if you could be nice, that would be amazing. If you could put comments, if you have questions, that would be also great. Otherwise, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks. Bye, guys.